The Honorable Chief Justice and Associate Justices of the Supreme Court.
The House will come to order.
The Senate will come to order.
Hey, Representative Anders, you've been waiting. House Bill 616.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I bring this bill for you before with the state police, and this creates a crime of filing a false lien against court and law enforcement officials, and I have Trooper Frank Bason with state police.
Frank Bason, State Trooper Association. We had a few incidents that happened over the past several years where law enforcement officers and court officers were, I guess, targeted by the sovereign nation people or sovereign citizens, particularly in the Lafayette area. And that's where this bill comes from. It pretty much mirrors the federal law. And just to give you an example of an incident that happened is that during a vehicle pursuit where sheriffs, state police, and local law enforcement was involved in a pursuit, they ended up catching the person that was running from the police, brought him to jail. Obviously, he went through a process. Well, because these people from the sovereign nation or sovereign citizens do not recognize the authority of a law enforcement officer, this is, I guess, one way that they retaliate is they file false liens against against the sheriff's deputies, the troopers that were involved, the district attorney, and the actual clerk of court. So again, this law just basically mirrors the federal law, and I guess preserves some type of protection for law enforcement officers and court officers.
All right, in favor is Hugo Holland with the Caddo District Attorney, Charles Scott is the Caddo District Attorney, Mike Renatza, the Sheriff's Association, David Young, Louisiana State Troopers Association, John DeRozier, Calcasieu Parish District Attorney, and Charles Ballet of the Plaquemines District Attorney's Office. I see no cards in opposition. Senator Guillory?
Mr. Chairman, at the appropriate time, I move that we report this bill favorably.
All right, you beat Senator Perry. Did you have something, Senator Perry?
It's a quick question.
Okay, he does have a question.
Real quick, explain to me how will, or is it strictly the judge that's going to determine whether or not it's considered false?
What the documents
procedure-wise?
Yes, I guess. So the documents that they provide is actual false documents. It's just that if they don't examine them thoroughly when they filed, it looks like any other legal document, but it's actually false as they present it to the clerk of court's office.
Right.
So yes, it would be the judge. Yes.
Because the reason I say that is because I don't want this to in any way harm the clerk of court, because the clerk of court sitting there is not going to determine whether or not this is a valid or false.
Right. I understand.
Lien. They're going to, if I walk up with a lien, honestly, it's not their job to look and say, that's not right. They're going to take it, they're going to file it. Once it's filed, I guess then the officers realize it has been filed, then they can basically bring that through another procedure.
That's correct, because the courts recognize it. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Senator White?
Yeah, I thought back in the 60s this became a very wide used practice against law enforcement that they would just file liens against all of them and they'd prohibit them from buying houses or cars or anything for a time. I thought we did away with that 30, 40 years ago.
That there's only federal law. There's no state law that deters this.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Okay, it's already been moved that the bill be reported favorably. House Bill 616. Is there any objection? All right, hearing none, it will be reported favorably.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members.